Hi and welcome. Today we are in the backyard and Eddie and I are going to be propagating this philodendron. The jury's still out on what specific species of philodendron this one is. We know it's not a gloriosum, considering maybe it's a pastazima, maybe it's something else. If you do know, please share with me, because of course I always like to learn, but we don't know. We've been asking around and we haven't been able to figure it out yet, so we could use some help. But we do know we're going to chop it up into as many babies as we can get. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what we've got going on within this plant. When we picked it up, there's a few things that I see here. So, of course, within this philodendron, we've got a black magic here. I'm definitely going to try to pop that out as well. I'll put that guy in its own pot. What I do like is that I have these other little leaves kind of growing out, which is good for me because if I want to propagate it and sell it, it's easier for me to ship these smaller plants. So for me, that is good. That's why I like this plant. It looks like this has actually been one of the mother plants where they've been cutting out of. Gosh, look at how pretty that is. Oh, love it. That they've been cutting out of, because I can see all these just tons and tons of roots going on here that they've been crawling from, and then that they've also been cutting. Now, one of the things we have to pay attention to, this part right here is called the root stem. So when I do go to propagate this, and perhaps I will decide to cut this one off, a common mistake that people make when they're propagating these is that they bury the root stem because they think that it is an actual root, and then that of course just digs into the ground and then begins to rot, and that's what's going to kill your plant. Otherwise, these guys are very hardy. They, again, are crawlers, so they like to crawl across the ground and kind of throw out little roots. When you do plant them, you basically just lay the stem flat on the soil and kind of let the roots, just bury the roots, leave kind of like the trunk of the tree, leave that above soil. So here's our game plan. We're going to probably get this guy separated, so that'll be one. I'm going to try to maybe get this guy out, that'll be two. I'm probably going to leave this whole mother section here. I'm right now going to go ahead and just snip this big yellow leaf. It's just in my way and not really doing anything any good, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip that one off right now anyway. And get her out of here. Let's see, I'm going to try to get that black magic alocasia out as well. I've got new growth coming in all over, which is really nice too. So I for sure have maybe 3 or 4 plants that I'm going to try to make here today. So we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay, so as we're looking at this, we definitely have these cute little babies growing up. I'm going to move this guy to the other side. I want this little bit of plant here that has these 2 leaves. So just to start to see what we're working with here, I think, what do you say we just go cut it out, right?
Let's give it a shot.
Alright, knife or lobs? Knife. Baby, I got it. Okay, so this guy really and truly was kind of just dug. I snipped him there, and he was really, I just dug. All his roots are still perfectly intact and happy. So he's a nice little guy. He's got these 2 beautiful leaves. I'm going to go ahead and set him to the side and see what else we can work with here before we then go throw him into soil. Okay, so here's another really good section that I'm going to work with. I have just this 1 leaf that's coming off of this section right here. I'm going to go ahead and chop below the node. I'm going to give it like 2 nodes with it. It's already kind of got its own roots going, and this one will continue then, if it catches, continue to go, and its leaves are going to shoot out from here. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead. I think my knife can do it. I don't know. Let's just try. Okay, so here's number 2. Looking good, right? And as I mentioned, her roots are going to start. You can see there's a little baby kind of coming out of there already. So as they grow, they're just going to keep going that way. Nice one. Alright, last one here. I'm just going to cut off this big main chunk. Let's see, these leaves are in the way. I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you in just a moment as soon as I'm done lobbing her off. Okay. And, oh, she's got some roots buried. I'm going to try and save them as much as I can. And then she's like woven through here. Let me see if I can get this guy out. There we go. So, scrape stiffen up the leaves too much. Oh, babies, babies. And then shake these roots free. Come on, I know you want to, just come with me. You're gonna get your nice new space, be all by yourself. And then I'll just give them a slight snip. Okay, and then here's, oh, I don't want to hurt that root stem. Here's baby number 3. So this one's a good one to show you how these guys kind of grow. So they're going to be growing this way, and then this is that new root stem that's coming up. And so what I mentioned is that sometimes when people plant these, they forget to plant either in the pot, allowing for room for the plant to continue traveling that way, where they get kind of jammed up like this one sort of is now. I don't know if you can see that. Or they'll even bury that root stem, which, like I mentioned before, causes rot. So I'm going to try to avoid all those things, but I think I should have some pretty successful propagations here. Look at that baby. Okay, so we've just gone through and chopped up this gloriosum, or not gloriosum, some kind of philodendron behind me. And we are going to start sticking them in soil. I have a few different options that I'm going to work with today. Oops, sorry about that. So this guy is going to, he looks very healthy. There's some new growth coming out actually in between these two, which I find very interesting. But he's got nice roots. So I'm going to plant him kind of going straight up. I also have this one that I'm actually going to opt to water propagate. I just enjoy that whole process. I find it really interesting. I like for my own kids to be able to watch roots growing in water. I think that's just a cool thing. So as a family, we really enjoy that. This guy also, as you can see, has some new growth coming in, this little baby. He's also really upright, so I'm going to get just something nice and tall to hold him in. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't go up past here so that I don't get any kind of rot going on up in this. I might even have to like tie him in my vase. Then I've got this guy, which is got a nice knuckle to him. You can see he also has some really nice new growth coming in, tucked in there. I don't know if you can see that little red, yeah, that little red shoot that's coming out. So this guy, I'm going to plant him as opposed to the others, which were kind of more straight up and down. This guy, I'm going to plant this horizontally so that he has his best chance to grow as well. So these roots are just going to continue shooting into the soil, and they all should be happy. I also grabbed just like a little chunk of a knuckle that I'm going to use, and that will start growing, hopefully, some growth out of the nodes. And then I have another larger 3-leaf, 4-leaf that are much bigger. Each of these, though, when I do plant them, I'm going to tie them up with some kind of support, probably bamboo pole. That's just what I have. So let's go ahead and start talking about what kind of soil we're going to be using. We'll do that next. Okay, so now we're ready to put these bad boys into some pots. So I've gone ahead and got myself some 50-50 mix. Can you see that there? It is comparable to the soil that this guy was actually planted in. It's just a mixture of soil and sand. So it'll be good for drainage. I'm not going to add perlite because it is a 50-50. I should be fine. I might add some jungle mix on top, which is this stuff that has just a little bit more bark, organic matter to it. Just the thought being, I know these roots are going to sit on top of the soil, so I'll have some more nutrient-rich stuff there, and then more stuff that's catered towards drainage towards the bottom of the pot, because again, these kind of really are just going to be sitting on top. Their roots aren't going to be running real deep to start. So while they catch, I want them something that makes them happy. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with this guy. Again, he's got that horizontal knuckle, so I'm going to kind of plant him facing upright like this. It might be an issue with him wobbling, but we'll see. If I put it upright, it's going to pull and twerk kind of the pot. I don't need my plant to be twerking in its pot here, right? So let me go ahead. I'm just going to strip off some of this jute. Okay, so here she is. We're going to wait till she catches some root. Notice that when I planted her, I'm aware that she's going to be growing this way, so I wanted to give her as much room as possible, so I put that knuckle running alongside here so that she can at least have, you know, this distance from here to here. I could even maybe shimmy her a little farther. Hopefully that'll be the best setup for her to be successful. Alright, so there's one. This second one I mentioned, I really enjoy water propagation, so I'm going to put this guy into water just because I really enjoy watching roots grow in water, and I really enjoy my children being able to see that. You know, they see my husband Eddie and I planting all the time around here, and they get to watch things grow, but I think it's important for them to understand the how. Maybe that's the teacher in me. I'm one of those moms. So I'm gonna grab, I couldn't decide, I really quick went and grabbed some vessels for holding it. So I got just these 2 mini jars, and then I've got this one, which I'm gonna try first. These are alocasia masks that my daughter's pulled out. My oldest daughter is so cool, and so she pulled from my mother-in-law's yard. They don't want these anymore, and they've been trying to kill them, but every now and then they'll shoot out. They've got this lava rock, like this black rock behind me, so every now and then, like, these little pups will shoot out, and my daughter just loves to go and gather them and bring them home and put them in water and watch them grow. So again, I mentioned that water propagations are kind of special to me. This guy's sort of looking dead. I might not include him, but so let me pull this out, and even just to test what's going on with this one, I would of course definitely dump out a lot of that water, because I want this root that's about, this new leaf that's about to start growing, I definitely don't want that to be submerged in the water. So I want this to kind of be at the perfect place. I don't know if this is going to be best for it. It definitely holds it up. Let me see if either of these work better though. Oh, this might be the money. Yeah, nope, I'm going this route. Okay, so let's fill this back up. I'll add water just straight back into it. Then my African mask can go back and stay in their little home. Let me get his root back in there. Realistically, I'll probably go and clean this off. There's a lot of dirt and stuff going on in the water, but for right now, let me just get her into something. Okay, so this one is going to be happy like this for a little bit. I'll set it in my kitchen, give it lots of sunlight, and hopefully we'll see her grow. All right, on to the next one. So that's 2. I like this guy because he's probably going to be pretty easy. He's going to be growing pretty upright. This root I'm going to go straight into the soil with. There's new growth coming right in here, right in between them, which is actually really cool. So we'll see how this one goes. So I'm going to put her straight on in. And then again, add some jungle mix to the top. So again, as I was planting this one, I was trying to be mindful of the direction in which the plant is going to naturally kind of start to continue to grow. I don't want to stifle it or restrict it by planting it up close against the pot wall. So here is number 2. And then we'll do this guy because she's the big baby. And she's beautiful. Again, growing rather vertically. I got to pay attention that she's going to be growing in this direction, so I'm going to butt her up to my plant pot wall on this side. Okay. And there she is. She's ready to be going. My very last one today. I hope you enjoyed watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video and kind of see how I do things here in my garden. I don't know everything, and I don't really frankly know a lot, but I do love to learn. So if there's anything that you know that can help me with my propagations or even help me with my garden in general, please share. If there are any questions you have for me, please let me know. And again, I just want to thank you. I know there's millions of videos on YouTube, so I thank you for taking the time to come and watch mine. Right now I'm going to go find a happy shady place for these philodendron. Again, if you know the name of them, I don't think they're gloriosum because they're not velvety, but if you know the name for them, I don't know if they're Pastazanum or if they're maybe a hybrid, please share that with me too. Alright, thanks, stay well my friends.